Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first elementary grade. Our textbook is Week 1 and today inshallah we will cover Unit 3, Toys and Things. The lesson is Phonics on page 24. This lesson will be presented by me, teacher Mazen Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Saleh Al-Ajan. So let's begin. Quick revision on our last lesson. In our last lesson, we learned a new grammar. And that grammar was about the plural S. We said this in this grammar toolbox when we mention or when we say one thing or one item, we would use it the same without adding. For example, we can say one robot, one tree, one apple, one basketball, and also one orange. But when we have two or more of this item, then in this case here we need to add S to the word. For example, we would say two robots, three robots, four robots, four apples, five basketballs, three trees, two dogs. So this is what we learned last time, is that when we have one or more than for the same item, here in this case we add S to the word. Not only this, but also we did learn a fun and exciting game. We said that here, try to gather your friends or your classmates or maybe your family member. And what you need to do is to gather at a table and put your hand on the table. And when you put your hand, you only alone, when you put your hand on the table, you would say one robot. And if there is some of them, if they can join you and put their hands on top of you, if it's two hands, then you would say two robots. And if the third one comes in and also put his hand on top of you, then here it will be three robots. If the fourth one comes in, also here in this case we'd say four robots, and so on. So what is interesting about this game is that we can learn or we can practice saying the plural S. So if we use one, if we are using only one, here in this case, we don't add anything to the word, one robot. But if we say two or more, here in this case, we need to add S, like two robots, or three robots, or four robots. So S is important. Whenever we have more, then here S is important to add. For basketballs, for trees, for dogs, for books, S is important when we have two of any object. Now, let's get to know our objectives in today's lesson. We hope that at the end of this lesson, you will be able to recognize and produce the sounds of the letters K, L, M, N. Not only this, not only recognizing the sound, but also to write them as well. So not only recognizing the sound of these four letters, but also to write them as well. So let's begin. I would like you now please to open your books on page 24. I would like you please to open your books on page 24. On page 24, as you can see, here we're getting to learn new words that has specific sounds of the letters that we just learned. So here, what I would like you to do is to listen and say. To listen and say the name of each of the word that I am about to say. So let's start with the first one. Number one, the first word. Say k, k, kiwi, Again, k, k, k. Say kiwi, kiwi, kiwi. Very good. So this word started with the first sound with k, kiwi, kiwi. Now we'll move on to the second word. Here, the second word. I would like you to listen and to repeat after me. La, la, lion, lion. Repeat after me again. La, la, lion, lion. Very well. So this word starts with letter L, and how we pronounce it, we say lion, lion. Very good. Now let us move on to the third word. The third word here we have starts with the letter M. So let's all pronounce it together. Ma, ma, monkey, monkey. Ma, ma, monkey, monkey. Very good. So this word starts with letter M, and how we pronounce it, we say monkey, monkey. Now let us move on to the fourth one. The first one here, this word starts with the letter N. So I'm going to say it, and I would like you to repeat after me as well. N, n, nest, nest. N, n, nest, nest. Very well. So this word starts with letter N, and how we pronounce it, we say nest, nest. So here we have all of the four words, and now we're going to repeat it again. We're going to say it again, and also by emphasizing the first sound of each word. So let's try it again, and this time just listen carefully to the beginning of these words. So we start here with the first picture. Ka, ka. Say kiwi, kiwi. Again, ka, ka. Say kiwi, kiwi, kiwi. Very good. Let us move on to the second one. La, la. Say lion, lion. Again, la, la. Lion, lion, lion. Very good. Let us move on to the third one. M, m. Say monkey, monkey. Again, m, m. Say monkey, monkey. Very good. The fourth one. N, n. Say nest, nest. Again, n, n. Nest, nest. Very good. Now, here we have say all of these four words. Here we have kiwi, we have lion, monkey, and nest. Now we did the first part, which is to listen to these sounds and also to say these sounds that begin at each of these words. Now what is left? It is writing time. So here, what we need to do, we're going to do two things. The first thing is we are going to trace. we are going to write above these letters. And after this, at the end of this line, we're going to copy what we just did trace, the things that we traced. So I will show you how to trace and also how to copy. So let's begin. The first part here we need to do is to trace. So as you can see in the second letter, you can see in your book, you can trace like this. So just to put the pen like this above the letter. So this is the first part of tracing. And you can trace the other one as well, like this. This is letter K. This is letter K. And you can trace the third one as well. You can trace the third one as well. You know, it doesn't necessarily to be 100% accurate, but what is most important is that you do tracing. You do tracing. And the more you trace, the more you will know how to write this letter. The more you trace, the more you know how to write down this letter. So when you are out of letters, then at the end you can copy what you did just trace. At the end you can copy what you did just trace. So the first part is that you trace here and here and here, and when there is no letter left, now it is your turn to write your own copy, So this is our first part of tracing for letter K. Now let's do the second letter. Here we have the second letter, which is L. So let's trace letter L. So this is what we do. We're going to trace letter L like this. This is letter L from the word lion. Lion. So the more we trace, the more we can be confident of how to write this letter. So here, letter L. We do tracing, and at the end we can write or copy our own writing. So this is letter L. So the first thing we did is that we traced the letter, and then after this, at the end, we did write our own copy. We did write our own copy. L from the word lion. Lion. Now let us move on to the third letter. The third letter is M. So the first thing we will do here is to trace letter M. Trace letter M like this. Letter M from the word monkey. Letter M from the word monkey. So this is how we can trace letter M. And the more we do tracing, the more we can be sure that we know how to write this letter. How to write this letter. And this is the fifth one. The more we do tracing, the more we know how to write each letter. Tracing is important for us to know how to write properly and how to make sure we know how to write the exact letter. So when you finish, then you can write here your own example of the letter. So here, this is how we trace letter M. We did the first part is that we did trace, and for the second part or the last one, we did copy it. M from the word monkey. Monkey. And now we're going to trace letter N, and we will do as what we did with the previous letters. So let's change the color. Let's choose, for example, the black color. So here in this one, we're going to trace it like this. Trace these letters. So we start with this one. And as we said, the more we do tracing, the more we can enhance our writing by writing these letters. So after we finish from tracing these letters, then we can do our own copy. So here, this is letter N tracing. And here we almost finish with the tracing, and comes the part of our writing our own copy. So this is the letter N. So at the beginning we did finish tracing, and at the end we wrote our own copy. So this is letter N from the word nest. Nest. So this is how we do tracing, and also how to write our own copy at the end. And the more we practice, the more we trace, the more we will have better writing in our books and in our notebooks. And now, at the end, it's very important that you can see whether you can make the sounds of letters K, L, M, and N, and also to put them in words, and to pronounce them, and to say them, and to put them in words. And here today we learn 4 different words with these letters. Kiwi from K, lion from letter N, monkey from letter M, and the nest from letter N. And not only this, but also we write them down. To first trace them, and also to write our own copy after tracing. And now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.